guys, what's up? This video is about Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, the cults that hijacked the world. A lot of people in the world, a lot of working class people believe there's a God and a Jesus and, who's that other guy? Muhammad, whatever. They believe in all these religious figures because they've been brainwashed by religious cults. Now, if you use your eyes instead of your ears, you'll realize none of this stuff is real. You actually see any of these beings? Have you ever seen God or Jesus or Muhammad or any of that stuff? No, because it's just a story, man. It's a story you hear with your ears, but you ain't seeing none of this fantasy stuff with your eyes. Now, the whole purpose of these books, these religious books, these stories, they're just storybooks. That's what the Bible is. It's a storybook. It's a book full of stories that, you don't actually see any of these stupid-ass claims. Like, oh, a talking snake in a tree. It's so stupid. I mean, how fucking old are you to believe that snakes talk to trees? You know what I mean? Like, get real, man. Grow up. Grow the hell up, man. Use your own fucking head. If you believe everything in that book, you're not thinking for yourself. You're just a blind follower listening to stupid, outrageous fantasy bullshit, man. You don't have any discernment of your own. You're just a blind follower. Now, the purpose of these religions are to control the world, because basically those books are rule books on how the population is supposed to behave, right? So those 3 books tell everybody what to do, and then you do it and you follow the rules, right? So they're basically a book full of ideas telling you what to do. Now, the Roman Catholic Church and the Jesuits, they rule the world. And, Islam and Judaism, they're basically the same thing. They're just like, part 1 and part 2 and part 3 of the same story, Sort of like Star Wars part 1, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Now, the reason that a lot of you people want to believe these stories is because they're good-sounding stories. They make you feel good. Jesus, the most loving, nicest man in the world, and he let himself be killed for you. You know what I mean? Like, they make this character like the most sympathetic character ever, and they have this great, fantastic story. The same people who write those Hollywood movies, they wrote the Bible. They're great storytellers, and you got sucked in by the story because Jesus is such a sympathetic character. But all he is he's just a main character in a fictional story. And it's the same with all the other ones. There's no invisible man in the sky. There's zero proof for that. This is just a fantasy story in order to control people. Now, the Roman Catholic Church, the military order of the Roman Catholic Church is the Jesuits. And the Jesuits created Freemasonry. So the Roman Catholic Church created Freemasonry, so they're playing both sides. Christianity, good side, Freemasonry, the evil side. But they're playing both sides, and they just, pretend they're enemies, but they're not. The Roman Catholic Church used to say, a Catholic cannot become a Mason, it's a sin. But really, they created Masonry, and they're just playing people off both sides of both of their clubs. The black and white checkerboard of Freemasonry, good and evil. That's what it is. They're playing both sides, good and evil. So this is really just a way for the rich people to control the working class people. That's all it is. At the end of the day, it's about power and riches. Who gets to be rich and live the best life possible on this planet. The people who control these cults, they don't even believe their own stories, man. These stories are just for the gullible masses, so you do what you're told. These religious texts, they were the first form of mind control. They just put all these ideas in your mind, and then, all these superstitious people, these gullible people, believe in these fantasy stories. When there's zero proof, they just have explanation after explanation why you can't find any proof of any of this stuff. And it's just all a con, man. But some of you guys, you're not good at detecting con jobs. You want to believe in this fantasy story because it makes you feel good. So yeah, I'm just here to tell you the truth about it. If you still want to follow these, brainwashing cults, go ahead. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just telling you the truth about them. There is no God. There's none of these characters are real. It's just a way to control people. It's mind control. Okay? And all those ideas just tell you how to behave in society. Religion is useful for the upper class, because the lower classes will follow the rules in those books that they wrote. And I'm not going to argue with any of you if you want to argue about religion. If you still want to believe in these fantasy stories, man, I'm not going to argue with you about it, okay? I've said this multiple times, that these religions aren't real, these stories aren't real. I mean, I'll tell you what, go tell me if you can see any of this stuff with your eyes yourself. You can't. I mean, if you actually read the Bible, there's some ridiculous claims in there. Now, are there some good ideas in there? Is it good to love your family and your friends and treat them good and all this stuff? Yeah, there's some good moral ideas in there. But that book's incomplete. I mean, they really don't touch on war and stuff. They say, oh, let your enemy slap your cheek and the other cheek. That's not very good advice from my perspective. Religion's fake, guys. These cults hijack the world. That's who controls the world now. And their ultimate plan is to rule the world in a dictatorship from Jerusalem with their front man, Jesus, the fantasy fiction character. There, now you know the truth. If you don't want to believe it, that's up to you. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.